All right.
Hello.
First rankings. We're both in bed. Where are
Well,
the
yeah,
other
it
tabs? Get those tabs out of here.
is morning after.
And we're mourning,
Um,
babe.
yeah.
No other memory wall
We
photo
are
in black
mourning
and white
Faith.
makes it look like I feel like it looks like she's dead. I think it's the photo.
Oh, okay.
I feel like
Um,
that's not with anybody else's photos. Today we're really mourning.
it's something with the pose.
Yeah.
Well, I have faith that she'll be doing better in the afterlife. With that,
Well,
let's talk about
her big brother life is over.
it is over. Um, yeah, there's there's a lot to talk about this week because yeah, Faith's Big Brother life is over. Um, and I'm over it.
Already.
These
That's
balls
a record.
already. And let me be clear, this is actually something that I feel like we haven't experienced before. Everyone's here, everyone's talking. However, no, like normally in a week one rankings, there's like the people at the top get a seven. Occasionally we throw out an eight. At least from me, not the case. Because not the case this time, certainly not. Because one, the people that are playing well are in shit positions. And the people that are in theory in like good positions are playing like absolute shit and are making decisions as if they're morons. So I have no other choice than to assume that you're a moron and give you a bad score because I'm not about to give people in a good position that are playing like shit good scores. Um
Right.
and
Let's yeah.
yeah, so
I'm
it'll just
tapering
be
the
fun
rant right
rankings
now.
to talk about.
I might give out some green scores. Uh,
Um I I've locked in my scores. I'm gonna stick to what I have. And newsflash for the group, one person gets a grade score from me.
we're gonna say
One. No, singular.
no.
So
Ooh,
we're
that's
gonna
Spanish. Okay.
see who it was.
Let's start
Shall we type in?
let's start with Abdul.
Okay, Abdul.
Our fun graph will start next week.
Yes, Abdul. Okay. So I've gone on a bit of a roller coaster with Abdul because for the first few days of this game, I was not getting much. I was like, oh, he's going to be a late pre-jury, early jury, hasn't done a ton, not making inroads boot because he didn't do a ton in those first 3 days of the game. For that, I was going to give him a three or four. Day four changed things. He turned it on. He realized that his number one, Ava, who's not necessarily his number one, who I think which is probably a good decision at this stage in the game, however, did clearly acknowledge, hey, not great for Ava to leave for me this week. Come on, brain. Not everyone has one. Um, and he put in the active work to keep her without pushing too much. He talked to a lot of people. The vote did end up flipping back. He's walking away from this week with an alliance with Karina, Zion, and Gabby, which I actually think is a great group. I think those people are all pretty connected, strong players that are going to be able to do stuff if they stick to it and think smart and not a guarantee. But so with that said, I think he is going to be on the up and up. All things considered, I'm in a very middling position. Day four was very impressive, and I think it's going to send him into a good spot. But for week one as a whole, we have yet to see how that's fully going to play out. So Abdul for me is going to be on the higher end of my rankings, but it's going to be a five from me.
Yeah, Scott, I think our rankings will be skewed a little bit because I feel like we have differing opinions on inactivity in the early game in the first few weeks. Um, for me, him not doing much or saying anything for the first 3 days wasn't really a 3 or 4 level for me. Um, I think he's someone, along with some other people here, who didn't need to be like super loud. He had his chats with people, he was reaching out, which I thought was socially good enough for an 18 person cast week one. Um, and yesterday, yeah, I'd say him recognizing that there is a better option between the two nominees and pushing for it, despite almost not pushing for it. I think he was like willing to let Ava go, considering she wasn't putting in the effort really at first, which I guess was also good. But he was able to swing the vote back into the most optimal favor, or outcome. I mean, um, I'm gonna be giving Abdul a six this week. Go Abdul.
Yeah, I don't think that's unfair. Definitely someone that I am impressed by, especially in this final day. The only reason I was, and I do think probably this is where our opinion differs, is like his inactivity did almost land him a spot on the block. If Johnny had, like, let's say in a world where the team player worked out where Faith or Ava was safe, Abdul and Laura were the two backups. So that's why I was on the lower end of things. But I don't disagree.
Sure.
All right, so that's a 5.5 for Abdul. Moving on to Andre. No boy. Um, Not good is where I'll start. Andre, love you. Love you. Good friend of mine. Hang out all the time. However, as people will quickly learn, I don't hold back my true thoughts and feelings. And unfortunately, I am not impressed. I'm not impressed. No, I'm not. I think here's why I'm not impressed. One, he hasn't said much of anything, which isn't good. It's a baseline, not good thing. Um, that's not to say he's inactive. To be very clear, he's not inactive. No one in this cast, barring like Laura-ish, is someone that I would consider inactive. So Andre has been here, he has been playing. He hasn't made great inroads or connections with people. I couldn't tell you who is prioritizing Andre in this game. What I could tell you is a load of people. Are you frozen or can you hear
No.
me? Oh no, you're not frozen. Um, the what I can tell you is a load of people that like don't want to work with him and do want to target him. And his name has come up a lot as someone of like, oh, it's so annoying that Andre is going to be the swing vote. Was never going to be the swing vote. And oh, we have to talk to Andre. I don't talk to Andre. What's he doing? People were very intimidated by his intro video as well, being competitive, things like that. Um, I just think things are not coming up Andre. Um, and looking ahead, if he keeps up this pattern of like how he's talking to people and how often, I don't see these inroads being made. So all to say, maybe I'm in my Terran era. Maybe Terran gave harsh scores in BB27, and I'm like, yeah,
It rubbed
harsh
off.
scores. So I think maybe I'm going to be lower on the whole because of that, but I'm giving Andre a three. This wasn't it, and I think he's a prime target heading into next week.
Um,
Oh, wait. Before you dive in, the other reason why I'm so low is because in the vote, he was pretty firm in keeping Faith because Faith reached out to him to make a chat. And I absolutely agree that for him, keeping Faith would have been better. She's a newbie that reached out to make a group with him, align to teams. Awesome. When he was going around, all he was concerned about very vocally was like, well, I just don't want to be on the wrong side of this. And immediately folded for what was best for him. So that's the other reason why I'm lower.
yeah, I'm gonna be at a three as well. I think going into the following weeks, Andre is gonna be someone who is a very easy like throw up on the block. Um, so I'm gonna be at a three as well. Also not very impressed, but also we'll see if he sticks around a little longer. Someone who is sticking around past week one, Ava,
Oh, oh, Ava. Oh, Ava.
House of Mouse, Ava.
Ava's going through it. Okay. Ava. Two things can be true at once.
Uh-huh.
Are circumstances pitted against her on day one? 100%. Based off of Johnny's reasoning, and if I think if Johnny was going by good gameplay, should Ava have touched the block? No. No, she should not have. She put in a very good amount of effort with him, made it clear that she wasn't free, and that's why she very clearly wasn't there with anyone. And then as soon as she was, reached out, made a good connection with him. They had a lot in common. and I think did a lot of good work with Johnny, made some allies, and that was good. Yay. So I don't think her going on the block was her fault, and I honestly don't think it was the right move. Nothing she could do there. From there, um, she didn't put up like a good campaign. I think she had a few people telling her like, "Yeah, you're good." So maybe she just thought like, "Okay, I'm good, and I don't have to do the most." But that led to quite not the vote like almost she was going home at one point.
Hmm.
The vote was 9-6 at one point. Um, due to people's stupidity, due to people being confident, due to people, whatever it was, the vote flipped because of her lack of activity and making sure it was there. Yes, she is busy. However, the prime campaigning time, like she was free for, and it wasn't happening. And people were still saying, like, it's campaign time, and I'm not hearing from her. And that's where I was like, ooh, no.
Yeah, that was
So it's
Abdul's main reason for like being willing to let her go. He's like, I'm not gonna if I have to tell her to campaign, I'm just gonna like let her go.
yeah.
Well,
And that's fair. Um, so that's where I'm like, and don't get me wrong, like she is very busy right now, and I don't fault her for like in your few moments of free time not wanting to like, but I think she does want to like, and she wasn't. So that's where I'm like,
all right, give me
um,
four. We're limiting these two.
yeah, I've been waffling back. You give your score first here. I've been waffling back to. I have two scores written in my phone, and I'm curious as to where you land.
I'm gonna give her a three.
Okay.
I think that's deserved for week one. Being on the block, almost going home. Were you gonna go lower than that?
I was considering a two, but I did ultimately land at a three as well.
I'm gonna stay.
Um,
I'm gonna be at three.
I'm up to a three because I don't think she should have been in this position in the first place, and I do think she has a way forward with people, but she's definitely not in a good spot. And you can't entirely blame her schedule for that. I hate to say it.
No,
Because
I
she's
mean,
here more than people. Like she's not the one that is here the least. That's the thing. Like you know what I mean?
yeah. Unfortunate circumstances for her
Speaking of people,
mixed with just not like throwing an effort at the end. But glad she's still here. But moving
yeah.
on to Cade, also
Yeah,
streaming
speaking of
in
people
Disney
that
World.
aren't here. Cade, there's not much to say about Cade this week because Cade here on day one, made some good inroads, and then literally like disappeared days 2, 3, 4. And I think will be disappeared day 5, 6, and maybe be back 7.
Which like
Um,
we knew.
yeah, yeah, yeah. No, that's not
So
something
like
I fault him for.
yeah,
Um, but like that's just like the fact. Um,
fact.
people have noticed. Do I think it's detrimental right now? No. There's not a lot of people that are like, we need to throw Cage specifically up on the block. There are far other people that have more bigger targets. I think it's going to ultimately be fine. The thing that I worry for him most is that once he is back, is like these groups are kind of formed and you're not in them.
I don't
I
think it's
worry that
gonna
the
be a
foundation won't
long
be there for him.
term detriment to him.
We'll see. We'll see. He just things different and make it, which I think he definitely could. This isn't me saying like I think he's done for by any sense of the word. Right now he's not in a great spot, but there are a good amount of people that are like, oh, we can work with Cade, we like Cade. And at the very end of this week, the vets did come together and officially be like, y'all, too many people are talking about the vets being a thing. If they're going to talk about the vets being a thing, we might as well be a thing. So I think that is going to help all of them out. I'm ultimately gonna land at the tried and true flops get fours. And this week Kate
Okay.
flopped a little bit. So it's gonna be a four for me.
I'm also giving Cade a four with the expectation that when he comes back, he puts in some work to get into a good position. Um, that's all I have to say about Cade. Cooper, I feel like we have a lot to say about Cooper.
Cooper. I remember and during the draft, we're like, oh, we're like, we don't know everything. Don't take anything we say being true, whatever. One thing we said about Cooper though was like, this guy's gonna be a villain. And he's a villain. And I love it. Cooper is a hot mess. But normally, come a but, normally the hot mess people, I can't stand watching them. I'm talking about with peace and love, and I adore these people now. But like watching, like Jacob play the game, we know made my skin crawl. Watching like Juan play the game, we know made my skin crawl. And now I've really come around on Juan. Um, but and like his game, Cooper, I'm actually just entertained by. I'm actually just entertained by the absolute mess because I don't think he realizes that he's being a mess, but literally he's in like, in my opinion, one of the best spots in the game in terms of the amount of people that he's talked to and is connected to and that like him. But he tells like everyone a different 60% of the story. And newsflash, Cooper, people talk. So like people have kind of clocked it and realized that he's saying a lot. But then he also doesn't make it a secret that he's like withholding information. Like he was like on a call with Matthew and like the team player results were being revealed right before noms. And Cooper was like, wait, Ava and Faith are on the same team? And Matthew was like, yeah, why? And Cooper goes, oh, and Matthew's like, no, wait, why? Cooper's like, oh, I can't say. And it's like, Cooper, like, what are we doing? Like, you're trying to get, like, what? Okay. Like, um, so he's being messy boots. And I don't think he knows that he's being messy boots, but the gameplay is not there for me, but the social game is. His position in the game is honestly a 6 or a 7. His gameplay is ticking it down, 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 down for me. I'm gonna give him a 5 because we have yet to see where this lands. Um,
Yeah, that's pretty generous. I'm gonna give him a 4. I think he's. I mean, like I've seriously been noticing people talk about Cooper and Johnny, just as people in the game, who are like going to be in the game moving forward. I feel like they're talking about how kind of like odd they're being, like with decision making. Um, so we'll see what happens with Cooper, and we'll get to Johnny. But I think I'm gonna give him a 4 because I feel like the perception coming out of the week where a close ally is HOH could have been better.
and to be fair, I think Johnny's situation just could have been better, but we'll get to Johnny when we get to Johnny. Yeah, just kind of a mess, but in a good way, like not like a total mess, just kind of like a mess.
I'm gonna throw it to
Ooh.
EJ.
On to EJ. Okay, EJ, I'll give a nice golf clap too. I'll give a nice golf clap too. On the whole, I've seen just a lot of people saying, I like EJ. I want to work with EJ, and that's great. Love that. For those reasons, DJ will be on the higher end of my rankings as well. And I did consider giving him a green score. Maybe I will. Who knows if this is the one? But there are a couple things holding me back. One, this vote. EJ, in no world should EJ have been fine with letting Ava go. No world. And again, with how close this was, like Zion clocked it. He like people were like, yeah, I just feel like Ava's got the majority of the votes. And Zion was like, I feel like the people that want Ava out are just being louder than the people that want Ava to stay. Correct, Zion. And EJ, you need to look at that text. You need to engrave it in your brain and remember season 11 when you got the high rankings and did well in the gameplay when you started making active decisions, EJ, and not just, oh, let me go with what the people are doing. No, EJ, no. Play the game and make the moves that are good for you, EJ.
Okay,
So
okay, give
I
it.
need him to step it up, put on some pants, and make a move.
Let's go, let's go.
It's week 1. I'm gonna be giving EJ a 5 because like, it's in a good spot. But I'm like we and Ava did stay. And the vet's locked in, and that's good. However, I need him to lock in with some more people. Do I anticipate this going up? Yes. However, no one gets a pass. No one gets a free pass in this world, and EJ gets a 5.
I don't know what you're on for this ranking, but I'm going to be giving EJ a 6 for this week. I think he's been very social and very active and has been making those inroads. Um, and people left the week saying, I really like EJ and I want to work with him. Um, Barring a few exceptions, one exception being Karina hating EJ for some reason and Matthew. So we'll
Karina,
talk about that.
I don't no. I'm not ready to talk about Karina. We'll get to her in 4 people, 5, 6 people. My God.
Yeah, we have a lot of
Okay.
people to get to. So keep your rambling to 2 minutes max.
Okay.
Eli.
I'll try. Eli. Um, okay. One, beat the first boot allegations from me. Proud of you. Sorry about that. Actually impressing me more. Um, I'm confused about Eli's spot in the game because she's in the divas, which I think is great for her. And honestly, that group of 4 linking up so early is like a crucial reason why this vote almost went for Ava to go. Um, the fact that she's in that and she's got those people's trust is good. With that said, her name is out there for a few people as someone that like doesn't exist in the game for them. And that's because she's not really talking to anyone except for that group of 4 for the most part. Um, in addition, I don't know how much that group of 4 like really loves Eli. So I'm just kind of confused for me. I'm like I was that I have at a 5, but I feel like they're all doing better than Eli. So maybe I'm at a 4, but you give your thoughts.
You kind of cut out a little bit, but I think I heard the gist. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. I was just
Uh,
saying that I don't know where she's at. She's in a bit of a wonky spot. I was gonna give her a 5, but the people that I've given a 5, I think are doing better than her. So maybe I'm at a 4, but you give your thoughts.
well, I was gonna give her a 5. Um, that's why the people I have doing better than her, I put them up a ranking because that's how the rankings work. Uh, so I'm gonna go give her a 5. I think again, her not being the most prominent right now isn't a bad thing in my eyes. I think she's shown to have a grasp on what's happening. Um, and that's enough for me right now. I think a 5 is warranted.
I'm gonna give her a 4. Um, I I just think she's in that middle position that's not great, but it's not bad. I think the Divas is good, and it could have been a 5. So this is like a high 4. High 4.
All right. Hey everyone. So it's me, the one you sent home by phone 14-1. It's time to talk about Faith.
Hey, hey everyone, it's me. Um, Faith. Okay. Um, the exact thing that I feel like we said preseason, I forget if we said it in the draft, happened. Where Faith is someone that I feel like thought she was here and being active, but maybe didn't quite realize that like no shade to the other fandom games and whatever was going on there. But like just sending a little like, this is my campaign ain't gonna cut it here. Like these people want to play and form connections and do like, you know what? Like it's just a little, we're a little elevated here at Big Brother SS. Um and
As we're both in bed.
yeah.
It's like
And I
about
don't
this morning.
think she fully got that, just because she comes from games where maybe that's not the case. She was like here for all the comps and play it and like send a few texts. Um, I think Faith easily could have stayed this week. And I think she would have stayed this week had she not shot herself in the foot by literally not only sending a copy and paste plea, but being like, hey, this is a copy and paste plea. Here you go. Because a lot of people made the same point. Like if they know that you're sending the exact same thing to everyone, you might as well have sent nothing to anyone. Like so like it didn't do anything. If anything, it pushed people away from wanting to keep her because then she didn't follow up with anyone. And then she heard the vote was flipping against her and she was like, that's bullshit. No, girl, it's not. It's not. Um,
I'm giving her a two.
I'm giving her a one. I'm sorry.
It
Um,
wasn't one bad for me.
yeah, I think I'm in a different headspace this season. I think I'm like, if you play badly, you get bad scores. I don't give a shit if your position is, I'm done being nice. Not, this is season 18, a normal season. Therefore, I will be harsh.
All right, let's go. Put the number in. All right, Gabby.
Yeah. Um, good. Question mark? Good question mark. Yeah, it's not quite clap, it's like snap. I'll snap. I'll give snaps. I'll do whatever this is. Um, the Gabby socially amazing. Strategically, pretty good. The best thing that I feel like she had to say this week, which was the thing that most people really couldn't get a grasp on, and it's something that I texted Steven, where she was like, yeah, for my game, I would like Ava to go. However, if the house isn't going to go that way, this is week one, and it really doesn't matter. Newsflash, everyone. We did all of this hubbub for Ava versus Faith.
On
I'm
week one.
terrified to see what happens when we have louder players on the block. Absolutely terrified. Um, Gabby, I think, has made a lot of good inroads. I think everyone that has talked to Gabby really likes Gabby. I think there are a few people that haven't, and there's a few random people that are like throwing her in the mix of like people that aren't here, which I think maybe it's just a function of like they just haven't happened to not talk to her. I haven't like I haven't kept a specific track of like who's talked to who. So Renee's been out there like a little bit, but like oh, on the whole, I'm impressed. Um, and for that reason, a five. She was another one that I would consider giving a six to though.
I'm thinking
But
about it. I'm thinking about it, and I'm gonna for right now. I'm gonna be at a five because she didn't get her way this week, and she was very vocal about what her way was.
hmm,
In terms of how much I'm seeing of her and how much I'm enjoying reading things she's saying and uh the social connection she's making with people, I think it's sixth level, but I think the vote kind of brought her down just a peg, with not getting what she wanted in the outcome, and everybody knowing that Gabby was a vote against Ava, like was a theoretical vote against Ava. So Johnny,
yeah. Oh my God. I'm gonna have a lot to say for the next out of the next three picks. I'm gonna have a lot to say about two of them. And if you watch the draft, you'd think it would be a lot about Julia Moss. No, 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 no. Because my first two picks of the draft are absolutely shitting the motherfucking bed right now. And I'm not pleased. I'm not pleased in the slightest. No, I'm not. Johnny, oh my God. Okay. Let me start positively because that's always a good place to start. Oh God. Um, I think Johnny to start the game in the first 2 days was someone that people really liked, connected with well. He won HOH, which is a great position to be in. He's good at comps. I think he really had everything going for him. To use a sports term, we had the ball and then we fumbled it
yes, true.
again and again. Um, Here's where I think he made his missteps. One, his noms. In what world should Ava have gone up? I really still actually can't comprehend why Ava went up on the block, other than the fact that she had work on day one. As soon as she was off work, she reached out to Johnny and they had a good conversation. They're both theater people, they're both from Michigan. Ava wanted to work with Johnny. Instead, Johnny was like, well, there's no other options at this point. Johnny, there are 16 other options. I don't understand why Ava's on the block for being inactive and not having reached out and doing poorly in the comp when you have people like Laura, who your entire text group chat consists of this. Hey, Laura. No response. After the HOH from Laura, congrats, Johnny. Johnny said, thanks, Laura. That was it.
Not too
That was the
much. Not
whole
too much.
whole conversation. You had like a 2-hour conversation with Ava about how much you had in common. And then, even if you want to argue, well, I wanted to put up a vet and a newbie and comp performance, Kate hasn't been here and forfeited the team player comp. So I'm like, I feel like there were so many clear things that like Ava shouldn't have gone up. In addition, like his alliance, like didn't really no one really wanted to send Ava home initially. And then when Ava went up on the block and expressed to Johnny like being upset about that, he immediately went to everyone and was like, well, she's mad. She's mad. It's like, no, Johnny, she's mad because you put her up on the block after she like well, it was a natural response. And then he pushed so hard in the vote that did not matter for Ava to go. Everyone knew it. And it was rubbing people the wrong way. Do I think that he's going to be someone that people are immediately trying to target? No, I think that's a big swing. Is he someone that I think people are dying to work with after this week? Absolutely not. He's going to be in the red score. I think I'm going to give him a 4, but I might be at a 3. Steven, give your thoughts.
Yeah, this was a pretty rough week for him as HOH, I think, and a week that it didn't need to be. I feel like a week one where there's 18 people, super easy to throw. Yeah, like a Faith and a Laura up on the block. And then after the veto meeting comes, it has no there's really no more impact that you can benefit from. In a week like where there's two people who you don't care who goes. And you can't vote either. There's no tie. There's nothing that is going to be coming down to you. You can literally step out of it for the day. Um, and while you want to influence it to have the best, most optimal person go home, like this wasn't one of those cases. I feel like I I'm going to give a 3. Do your thing.
I'm considering. Oh, wait, that's the 2 color. I'm considering it. I'm only going to give him a 4 because I do think he has enough allies moving forward to recover from this. But this is a bad HOH.
Mm-hmm. All right, let me just say, first thing I'm saying here, public apology for Julia Moss. Not really for anything that she did this week, but because I was a little heated in the moment, we decided to be a little punchy right before the draft last week. I've had time to think about my words. Public apology for Julia Moss.
And
One next.
no, okay. um, the no, I never had this worry, and this is why Julia, like you're gonna. Who knows when we're gonna be watching this? We're not. I'm not gonna promise an air date on this. We know. I know myself too well. But whenever you do watch this, um, you know I'm not gonna put up with any bullshit. And when you're in your diary room texting like, "Oh, my conflicts have been ignored, and I can't be active, and I might as well not play," girl, I know you well enough. You're gonna be active. And newsflash, you were. And newsflash, you're doing fine. So glad you're here because I knew this would happen.
Me
And that's why I
too. I am also glad you're here.
wasn't gonna put up with you saying, oh, my conflicts. No, girl. Okay, anyway, now that that's out of the way, I'm very happy with Julia. I'm very happy with Julia because brain, the brain is there. And one thing about Julia Moss, the brain is always going to be there. If there's a few things in this world that I can count on, it's that Julia Moss is going to have a brain in the game of Big Brother. She knows the game and she's smart. And you want to know one of the main reasons why this vote flipped back to being for Ava to stay? It's because Julia realized that, oh, maybe some things are there. Oh, let me be vocal about Ava staying. Because the louder, like, it doesn't matter what the truth is, it matters what the perception is. And the perception for a while was Ava's going home. So if we just stand true in the fact that, no, I'm not doing that, great, things are going to flip back. Was that Julie Moss alone specifically? No, it took a village. It took Rod and Sarah and Abdul and then getting some other people on board and the vets locking up. Yes, but like Julia was a factor in that. And it took her active decision, EJ, Matthew, to say, I am voting to keep Ava. Faith has not reached out to me, and that's that. That helped. And that's all you had to do. It wasn't doing too much. It wasn't unreasonable. It was just a firm, actionable decision that we made that was good for her game. Hooray. Now let's walk it back a little bit. The in the beginning days of the game, I think she got in a little bit of trouble by being like, yeah, I don't know anyone except for Ava. And then a lot of people were like, yeah, I know Julia. I love Julia. And people were like, wait, what? So I think people have been a little bit standoffish with her because of that. So unfortunately for her, she's not in any like alliances. And I don't think anyone is dying to bring her into any, which isn't fantastic. With that said, I do think she has a lot of good individual relationships, which for right now in the season, I think is totally fine because I really don't think any of the alliances that have like been made are really going to stick, with the exception of whatever is to come from this Abdul, Karina, Zion, Gabby thing. And that's more so because we have yet to see that really unfold. So for Julia, for good gameplay, but not a solid position, I'm going to give her the same scores I've been given. It's my baseline 5. 5 for loss. Or 5, not a 10, a 5.
I'm gonna give Julia the 6 this week. Uh, I think she deserves it after standing firm. I think um that is one of the main reasons the vote was still there to keep Ava, was her standing firm with some other people. And I don't hate where she's at so like in the game right now, positionally. So there you go, Julia. 6 from me.
I'm
Karina.
not ready. I'm not ready. I'm not ready.
Not my first overall pick.
Karina. Karina, I said I could always count on Julia Moss having a brain, and I thought I could count on the same for you. What happened? Where'd it go? Where'd your brain go? I actually can't even fathom how much of an absolute mess Karina is. Maybe it's, I literally don't know. Like maybe the season 17 cast was just that bad that it was easy for her. And now, or actually, no, let me walk that back. Not that bad. They were just stable. The season 17 cast was like a stable cast. This cast is not. Everyone loves to chit chat, run their mouth, say different things to different people. And I think Karina has caught a case of their word vomit and she got the stomach bug. And now she's word vomiting herself with stupid decisions.
Right.
Why on Karina? I'm just going to lay out some facts for you here. Ava's a vet. 1, like you. 2, one of Ava's prime connections was to you. She picked you as house guest choice. She's been on call, but like is so locked in with you. Why are you texting people like, oh, I can't believe like we didn't have like she has to go. She has to go. I'm sorry. In what world? Like actively, I think the worst gameplay from the week. like the actively the worst gameplay from the week. I'm saying that about Karina, production's favorite social strategic legend of season 17. Karina played the worst game this week actively. Um, wasn't good. Wasn't good. Um, I if Ava went home, I would have given her a two. I would have given her a two. She eventually saw the light, only because I think the votes were flipping back. But like, I just don't think she realizes that like the game is not as complicated. Like the simplest answer is often the answer. Ava's with you. Matthew is with you. EJ is with you. Like these people are with you. Um, and I think the info that she's getting from Zion is actually hurting her more than it is helping her. She should trust her gut. People are gonna play the game. Trust your gut with who you're with. Um, I I feel like I gave Johnny a four, so I have to give Karina a four. But she could deserve a three. What are your thoughts, Stephen?
Um, I'm thinking. I mean, if she got had her way, like Ava would have been gone. So it's not like she saw the light. That's not really what happened, you
Yeah,
know?
that's true.
Um, I think I'm. I think I'm gonna give her a four. I think she
I think
was
I'm gonna give her a four.
above Johnny this week for me. Um, yeah, that's what I'm gonna say. I think it was kind of a mess, but I think she has more people liking her than Johnny does right now.
Yeah,
So
her position
I'm
is
gonna
too
go with
strong
that.
for me to warrant giving it a three. I agree. Oh, Karina, please pick it up. Please pick it up. Oh, I'm so sad. I'm actually devastated. You were supposed to win this season, Karina.
We were rooting for you. We were all rooting for you.
Literally. Okay.
Kelsey.
Okay. I have to say, I fucking love Kelsey. Um,
Oh, she's so funny.
Kelsey is incredible. For those of you that are BBSS fans, I forget if we said this in the draft because I know I've been saying it. Kelsey preseason gave me like Chloe Farmer vibes, but if Chloe Farmer like actively played and understood the game. And that was a 100% correct read. 100% correct read. Um, Kelsey is everything. I love, like, she's just bringing stuff that I love watching. Um, I think she's a player that people think like I think Johnny thinks that he can just like text her and be like, "Hey Kelsey, do this," and she'll be like, "Okay." No, not the case. Kelsey like is gonna do what's best for her because she is actively thinking about the game and she's making decisions that are best for her. Like Johnny told Kelsey like, "Hey, I'm gonna put up two of your team members," and Kelsey was like, "Oh, okay, that's not good for me. So I'm gonna go tell the one that I'm close with to reach out to Johnny and see if we can change that." Because Kelsey did not want Ava to go this week, and you know what happened? Ava didn't. Period. Um, great. Um, I am unfortunately going to have to give her a four. People that are like, oh, you totally cut out.
I'm
I'm
here.
back. I'm back. Okay, what was the last thing you heard from me?
I'm gonna give him a four. I
Okay,
heard
I am
all of
gonna
it.
give her a four. Okay, yeah, I am gonna give her a four because um there are too many people that I think view her as like an expendable question mark number. Um, not any like no one has talked about having to have Andre. Um, and I do think like she is well, but she's definitely not thing. I do see her in this company. I've seen some rumblings of things. However, right now it's a four.
Mm. Um, I'm comfortable giving her a five this week. For me, five is like the middle of um like you are not doing poorly, you didn't make any bad decisions, you're well connected enough. It's like you didn't make anything. any active choices this week to push the game and sway the game in your direction, which would be a green score, in my opinion. Five is kind of base led. So I'm going to stay with five for Kelsey. We'll see what happens there. I feel like five is a good starting score for somebody. And you know who won't be getting a five because she'll be getting a 10? Laura.
And that was an example of a lie because you are allowed to lie in the game of Big Brother. Oh, Laura, Laura.
I just understand because I know she's a Survivor fan. Oh,
Yeah, yeah. Um, I, I really thought this was going to be like incredible social legend. In the draft, we said there were two sides of the coin, a flop friend, and unfortunately, we are at the other side of the coin. We are a full other side of the coin. Maybe if you're a flop friend who's a redhead, maybe that's it. Maybe that's the other side of the coin. Um,
sure,
the
sure.
yeah, not not really doing it. I don't think she's actively texted anyone. I think people have reached out to her and she's responded and she's given her thoughts.
Mhm.
But I don't think she's actively been like, "Hey, what are you thinking, person?" Um, everyone has talked about, like everyone is like unanimously agreed upon the fact that she's the least here. Why she wasn't up on the block and honestly going home is
Social
astounding to
legend.
me. It's astounding to me. And honestly, I attribute it to her intro video. I really do. Because it's nothing that she did in the game. Um, I I have to give her a three. So I will do that.
I'm giving her a four.
She did
I'm
nothing.
giving her a three. I'm giving her a four because she's social goddess legend who stayed off the block. That's why four.
Christ almighty.
Uh, yeah. Do I see Laura rebounding from this? No. Um, I don't see it going much more positively than what it's already been, at least for right now. Maybe she'll come in with a huge swing with if she gets a reality check this week, essentially. Um, but that's me. Or Matthew, let's wrap this up.
Matthew. Ugh. Oh, okay. He's another complicated one. He's another one that I have kind of the same issue with EJ with, where it's like, but it's a bit different. It's a bit different. Everyone was talking about how much they like EJ. Unfortunately, no one's talking about how much they love Matthew, except
Hmm.
Sarah, who is like, that's my number one. Um,
Tea time with
and
Sarah and Matthew. Hello.
and unfortunately, a lot of other people I think are like sketched the fuck out by Matthew, and I'm not entirely sure why. A little bit is because of Zion and Karina being stupid. Um, More so Karina. I'm not putting that on Zion. Um, it's like people should trust him in the vet's corner, in Cooper's corner. I really want him. Allies aren't his allies. Vet gets a chop soon. Him and Cade or a like I think Julia, Karina, and EJ are the vets that are most likely around for a little while. Oh wait, we did
I can hear you. I can
you
hear
hear
you.
all of that?
Yeah.
Uh, And he said that. In addition, I think that he was too willing to let Ava go. He was in his diary room being like, I want her to stay. So maybe I like don't fault him as much for like actually being willing to let her go. And he was the one to lock in the vets, which I think was needed and necessary and a great thing. Curious to see where his game goes from position. The people just trust him, and that's not his fault, but like they don't. So I can't score him as if they do. What are your thoughts on Matthew?
I think he is coming into the season with a good mindset
and head on his shoulders. I think I agree people aren't loving him as much as EJ, but he's got those people who are looking out for him and who really like him as a vet coming into the game. I think that he should have stuck more to wanting to keep Ava. He ultimately did, but he should have kind of stuck by it more as opposed to folding so quickly. Um, I'm gonna give Matthew a 5 this week.
I'm gonna give him a 5 too. Um, yeah. I don't think that he was as willing to fold as he made it believe to other people. He wasn't as diamond pretty consistently being like, I said I'm on the fence, but like Ava should stay. I just don't
No,
know how to
I
like
think he
push for that
believed that
publicly,
that
which I
was the
think was the
best.
correct thing. Because if
He
everyone
believed
is
that
telling
that
you,
was the best move, but he was like, "Oh, I'm talking to Faith because I know she's gonna stay now," and I'm like, whatever, like Faith's staying, and I'm like, okay, but that's not happening yet.
yeah, yeah, no, I agree with that. And I honestly think the best thing that he did this week was text the vets at the end and be like, guys,
Hmm.
lock in. So I agree with that. I'll be curious to see where he goes. And I agree that
Yes,
he individually am immediately reminded why Matthew is such a good player. And unfortunately, it's just the people that he's playing with are a little wrong.
so true. Okay, Rod.
Anyway, Rod. I don't have a lot to say about Rod. So I'm not gonna say a ton. He's someone that hasn't been the most here. And his name hasn't floated out at all, but it hasn't been floated out as someone that um in addition, I do think that he was one of the main reasons why Ava stayed. I don't know why he wanted Ava to stay. I guess they had a conversation. It's not because like they know each other or anything. Um, maybe it's because he's like close with Sarah and through Sarah and Julia, like wanted Ava to stay, that he was like on board to push for it. Um, but either way, like he made his points places, and I think people are now as a possible number to bring in. So I'm going to be at a 5 for Rod. However, this is like a pretty solid just like 5 for me.
Gotcha. I'm also gonna be at a 5 for Rod. I I respect a lot how willing he was to stand his ground in the vote, but we haven't been seeing a lot of him, so I think 5 is like a good medium score for right now. Sarah, veto winner.
Sarah, veto winner. Okay. Um, Again, I'm gonna start positively. She's another reason why Ava stayed. She's kind of just laid out her points, and people saw that the numbers weren't there, and even though they were, and the votes flipped back. So that's the positive. The negative, and it was unfortunately the same thing that happened when I played with her on Julia's game. Um, she's someone that plays the game through her point of view and her point of view only. Like if you asked Sarah, like, who's the group that's running it? She'd be like, oh, it's me, Johnny, Cooper, Cade, and Julia. And it's like, girl, those people are not all on the same page. They do not want the same things. Most of them do not trust you. And Matthew. And Matthew's my number one. Like, no, 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 no. Bad read, bad read, bad read. Um, I think a lot of people are worried about Sarah. A lot of people are worried about Sarah, and they've expressed being worried about Sarah. And I think she's going to be someone, and people have gathered this, and it was just, again, it was the same way when I played with her. It's like when you go after Sarah, it has to be like, okay, it's time to go after Sarah. She's not someone that you can just throw up on the block. Um, so do I expect her to be one of like the next two boots? No. I think I think there are too many people that are inactive and or not inactive. There are too many like nothing players right now to get rid of for people to target Sarah. However, I do think come week 4 or 5, it's gonna be like, okay, like we're ready to take a shot.
All right, give your score.
Um, So I'm gonna be giving Sarah a 4 this week.
I'm just gonna give her a 5 as well. Honestly, like I think also being someone to stand her ground with her vote was really important. I think she was smart in not using the veto. We'll see how she's affected moving forward, but I think 5 is fair score for her right now.
Cool.
Scott, we haven't hit your green score yet, so what does that mean?
Well, it means that we're here to talk about Zion, and Zion is the one person that will be getting a green score from me this week, and here's why. Um, Socially, I think he's in the best position. He's in the divas. However, he's had talks with like all of them individually as well, and has gotten, I think, the actual truth out of a lot of people. He's got this ride or die duo going on with Karina, which I think is great, so long as people don't really clock it. Some people have like started to. Um, and I think they've got a really good dynamic, which I'll circle back on and touch on. Um, he's now got this group going with Abdul and Gabby, which if you're only watching the episodes, who am I kidding? If anyone's watching, that's not happening. It probably won't be mentioned until episode 2, is what I'm saying.
If you're just watching the episodes as opposed to the live feeds.
Wait, what am I saying? He's just talking around a lot of people. I think a lot of people like him, and I think he's got a lot of people fighting for him. Strategically, he's also got a good head on his shoulders because in his conversation with Karina, he is like, I think being a good ally to Karina and like being like, okay, like I'm letting you know, like I'm willing to do like whatever we want to do, and we decide as a duo. But Karina is like, he'll go to her with information about like, yeah, Matthew said like I heard that Matthew has an alliance with Cooper um and Ava. And Karina was like, oh my God, okay. Matthew's not with us. So now we have to make up a 4-step plan to talk to EJ and get EJ on our side and away from Matthew. And we need to vote out Ava. We need to do all these things. And Zion was like, okay. Um, Not that I'm not down for that. Why? And just like clearly, like I think is thinking a little more clearly. I also think it's hilarious that in their conversations, Karina is like, yeah, just a couple things like don't do this, don't do that. Like you need to stop doing that. You need to do that. Newsflash, Karina, I really hate to break it to you, babes. Zion is doing far better than you right now. Um, so yeah, I'm gonna be giving Zion a 6. Green score.
Yeah, I'm going to be giving Zion a 6 too. I think he's in a good spot right now. He is connected to a lot of good people. He's thinking clearly and smart. Um, so yeah, good things coming for Zion and for week 2, which we are now in.
You're now
Um,
in. This has got to be on average one of the lowest rated weeks in PBSS history.
I think
Um,
week 1's probably it's probably
yeah.
the lowest.
As the weeks progress and things solidify, I'm thinking that scores will definitely raise. This first week was such a clusterfuck of bad gameplay that it was impossible to give anyone high remarks,
Yeah.
if I'm being so. But I'm excited to see where we go. I think we're gonna have an exciting season on our hands. Um,
Hmm. This is really low. Yay. Okay. Bye, everyone.
I